Good evening, everyone. I'm Edward Moody. Thank you for joining us tonight. A Brunswick teen is dead and 2 people are charged with his murder after an argument at a late-night cookout. According to Glynn County Police, 17-year-old Javier Cordova died after he was shot in the chest Saturday morning at around 2:15. Investigators say it happened at Coastal Crest Suites apartment complex in Brunswick. Today, police arrested 42-year-old Michael Howard and 28-year-old Bria Marie Nicole Register. Both are from Brunswick and have been charged with felony murder. Anyone with information about what happened can call the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's tip line at 800-597-8477. Well, as Georgia begins to ease restrictions around large gatherings, some charitable organizations are finding relief in being able to meet face-to-face for the first time in more than a year. WSAV News 3's Chase Justice has more.
As of April 8th, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp loosened COVID-19 restrictions in the state, ending a ban on large gatherings and shelter-in-place requirements.
From now on, our message is clear. Georgia is open for business,
paving the way for gatherings like this to once again take place. The Junior League of Savannah hosted their Low Country Boil fundraiser Saturday night, with 100% of proceeds going towards charity.
This year we were proud to partner with Park Place Outreach and the Frank Callan Boys and Girls Club, as well as a variety of Done in a Days, where we partnered with other local organizations and supported their causes.
The Junior League of Savannah is an all-women's nonprofit organization that has roots in the Savannah area dating back almost 100 years. The club promotes giving back to the community, as well as leadership and personal development skills.
We are a group of women committed to promoting volunteerism, training volunteers in the community, training women in the community, and we host a variety of events throughout the year.
In their first in-person philanthropic event in over a year following the COVID-19 pandemic, friends gathered to eat and drink while a hands-free silent auction takes place on the side.
We're really excited that this is our first in-person event we're able to have again. As you can see, we're able to have it again safely, so we're really excited just to be back and doing things.
After months of being apart, a sense of normalcy that is welcomed by all. In Thunderbolt, Chase Justice, WSAV News 3, on your side.
All right, here's a live look outside on our Savannah cam at Ellis Square in downtown Savannah tonight. We had a beautiful sunny day. Looks like more might be in store as we head into the work week. Let's check your forecast first with meteorologist Scott Roberts.
Yeah, just low end rain chances as we head into Tuesday. It looks like for Monday we'll have pretty similar conditions to what we had this Sunday afternoon. A bit of sunshine out there and pretty warm temperatures. Upper 70s to lower 80s for our highs today. 80 for Savannah, 81 degrees in Richmond Hill. As far as those current temperatures, still on the mild side in the 60s, if not lower 70s going into the overnight. We should be able to cool off into the 60s, if not upper 50s for a lot of us, with a few sprinkles to our south. Viper radar scanning the skies. Most of that is outside of our area, though. Down in McIntosh and Wayne County, we did have a little bit of shower activity, as that system we talked about earlier is sliding out to sea just to our south. As far as our hour-by-hour forecast for Monday, we do start off with a partly cloudy sky. Then through the afternoon, those clouds will be thinning out and those temperatures will be warming into the upper 70s to lower 80s. Looks like similar conditions will stick around at least for the front half of the week. At the end of the week, things will be a little bit different. Full forecast in a few moments.
All right, Scott, thank you. It's official. Half of all American adults 18 and up have had at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. The CDC announced the milestone today. Almost 130 million people 18 or older have received at least one dose. That's slightly more than 50% of the total adult population. Almost 84 million adults, about 1/3 of the population, have been fully vaccinated. From our Washington newsroom, Dr. Anthony Fauci predicts public health experts will lift the pause on the troubled Johnson & Johnson vaccine by the end of this week, but says there may be new warnings attached to it. WSAV's Jesse Chanura reports on the vaccine's fate.
I doubt very seriously if they just cancel it. I don't think that's going to happen.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the White House's chief medical advisor, expects the return of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
I don't think it's just going to go back and say, okay, everything's fine, go right back. I think it'll likely say, okay, we're going to use it, but be careful under these certain circumstances.
Those types of warnings could include exclusions based on a person's age or sex, following the shot's possible link to a small number of rare blood clots. But Fauci says he doesn't want to get ahead of the FDA and CDC assessments.
When you talk to our colleagues in Europe, particularly in the UK, it isn't only women. There are men involved, and it isn't always associated with birth control by any means. So I think we have to be careful.
But Mark Short, the chief of staff to former Vice President Mike Pence, argues the pause of the vaccine is much more dangerous than the shot itself.
It's 1,000 times more likely to suffer blood clots from a birth control pill, yet we're pausing it at a time when we need to continue to deliver the vaccination.
Short worries the temporary delay will only increase skepticism among Americans.
You're going to create hesitancy from people who should be getting the vaccination who now have doubts.
But Fauci says the pause is vital not only to further examine the vaccine, but to raise awareness among providers of the proper treatment. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
And the Moderna and Pfizer CEOs have said it's likely that people will eventually need a third shot. But Dr. Fauci says that's ultimately going to be a decision made by public health officials, not pharmaceutical companies. In Savannah, J.C. Lewis Primary Health Care Center is providing vaccinations. They're offering doses of Moderna and Pfizer. So far, 1,600 doses have been administered. We are on your side with information on how you can sign up. Just go to wsav.com/vaccine. New at 11, a more than half a century-long tradition in the coastal empire was a little smaller this year, but just as meaningful. Hundreds gathered in Darien today for the annual Blessing of the Fleet. Only 8 boats showed up this year. Usually that number's around 15 or 20. Also missing this year, vendors and attractions for families. But as always, pastors from different denominations were on hand for the blessing. Last year, the blessing wasn't even in Darien.
Went out to the boats. So we went to Valona and Pelican Point, wherever the boats were. We walked out in the docks. But it's great to see all the folks in Darien back downtown. I know the fishermen like that too.
Each year, the blessing is done to yield a bountiful harvest of shrimp. The last boat dropped a wreath in the water in honor of seamen who have lost their lives at sea. Well, America's oldest person has died. 116-year-old Hester Ford of Charlotte, North Carolina, passed away Saturday at her home surrounded by family. Ford leaves behind 12 children, 48 grandchildren, and 108 great-grandchildren. Ford was born in 1904 in Lancaster, South Carolina. Her husband died half a century ago. She lived through both the COVID-19 pandemic and the 1918 flu pandemic. Still ahead, we are less than 100 days away from the Summer Olympics, and the pressure from the big games is getting real. When we come back, the length athletes are taking on their journey to Tokyo. You're watching WSAV News 3 Weekend.
back to News 3 at 11 Weekend with Edward Moody, meteorologist Scott Roberts, and Connor Delpreet Sports. WSAV News 3 on your side.
Well, this week marks a milestone. We're less than 100 days away to the opening ceremonies for the Olympic Games. As athletes ramp up their training, Candy Rodriguez shares one rugby player's journey to Tokyo.
Lauren Doyle knew she did not want to run track in college, so when she got a packet in the mail all about rugby,
I was like, well, mother, father, I am going to play rugby.
the now U.S. women's sevens team member and 2016 Olympian didn't know a thing about the sport when she first started, but she quickly turned heads.
I pretty much just got recognized for being fast.
Today, she's aiming for gold, all while working to get the sport in front of more eyes.
Around the world, it's quite big almost everywhere else. New Zealand has a huge culture there based solely around rugby, but here in the United States, they're starting to get the pro leagues off the ground.
And when it comes to training during a pandemic,
so we stayed physically fit to a degree, but obviously we weren't getting touches with the rugby ball, so that was the suckiest part for me.
Nonetheless, Doyle remains hopeful. Now she's ready and patiently waiting for her opportunity to shine.
We all want the Olympics to happen, and we all, want to follow the rules and be able to participate.
On the journey to Tokyo, I'm Candy Rodriguez.
All right, so Doyle says her goal right now is to make the women's rugby roster. They will announce who makes the cut this summer. Now, the interview you just heard with Doyle was done by WGN News Nation's Ryan Burrow as part of his Quest for Gold podcast. We have a link to his podcast in this story at wsav.com/Olympics. And we also have a look at what the athletes will be wearing during the Olympics and Paralympics this summer in Tokyo. Ralph Lauren is again the designer for Team USA. The sleek look features a white jacket with a blue hood and collar and an American flag on the shoulder and back of the jacket with a Team USA patch. Every item has been manufactured in the U.S.
Now, WSAV News 3 on your side weather with Storm Team 3 Viper Radar, powered by the Dozier Law Firm.
Sunday really shaped up to be a pretty decent day weather-wise around the Coastal Empire and the Low Country. And for the better part of the new work week, that is going to be the case, other than just some low-end shower chances that we'll have on Tuesday. And that's also what we're looking at right now on Viper Radar. Most of it is staying to our south, down toward McIntosh County, Darien, seeing some very light activity, but that has since dissipated and has pushed a little bit further out into the Atlantic, as most of the activity is staying to the south, as a frontal boundary is draped across the Big Bend of Florida and in through Jacksonville. For tonight, we're looking at a fairly cloudy picture over Savannah. Here's from our Savannah cam, our vantage point from our Savannah cam out on Hutchinson Island, looking pretty nice for us. Temperature is pretty comfortable, 69 degrees at the airport, feeling like 70, so technically we do have a heat index temperature at this time, and those temps are going to be slow to cool off for us this evening with the southwesterly component of the wind, so I think most of us should be able to make it into the 50s and lower 60s by tomorrow morning, and looks like that sky is going to be clearing out as we do head into the overnight hours, especially closer to sunrise. But as far as those morning temperatures, best chance for the mid-50s, a little bit further to the north, closer to the coast, and down to the south, better chance of being in the upper 50s to lower 60s, with Hilton Head staying right at 62 degrees. Though a couple of warmer afternoons are on the way for Monday, Tuesday, well, even into Wednesday, so that's actually 3 warmer afternoons. But at the end of the week, a frontal boundary will be moving through, and that will cool things off just a bit, back to below average temperatures ahead of our next storm system. That will bring us some showers and storms for us going into Saturday and Sunday of next week. So our Vipercast shows us the setup for us tonight. That boundary is just to our south. Heavy rain is possible for northeastern corners of Florida for us going into Monday afternoon, though. That's going to be pushing further to the south and out to sea, giving us sunny skies as high pressure builds in for us. That high is going to keep us dry through the day on Monday, though. As it moves to our northeast on Tuesday, we will have a southerly component to the winds again, and some showers will be possible throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. Here's the next front. That's going to cool us off for the end of the week. If you're traveling to the Midwest, there's actually a swath of snow that will be possible from Ontario all the way down into Missouri behind that front. So very cold weather behind that boundary. For us, we'll be looking at temperatures in the lower 70s, then pretty close to average as we go into next weekend. The next 3 days, though, will be in the lower 80s. For tonight, partly cloudy. Those clouds will be thinning out a bit as we do head closer to sunrise. Those temperatures in the 50s and 60s for those lows. And then for tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be pretty nice. Mix of sun and clouds, but mostly sunny as we head into the later afternoon hours. Somewhat breezy 5 to 15 mile-per-hour winds with those highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s. If you're planning on heading out on the waterways, pretty decent boating conditions out there. 70s for those highs, winds out of the west 5 to 10 knots. Now as the next 7 days go, it's going to be pretty nice as far as those temperatures. The main rain and storm chances will be here for us Saturday and Sunday next weekend, so definitely keep an eye to the sky for that. But we're going to be looking at quite a bit of sunshine in the first part of the week, so get out and enjoy that. Edward?
All right, thanks, Scott. Well, so many of us are working from home these days, and that's making us sitting ducks for a growing fraud. An official sounding call or voicemail saying we are behind on our utility bill and demanding we pay up. Crooks are getting away with millions. Here's CNBC's Scott Cohn with our investigation.
This is an automated call.
The voicemail is ominous.
Please enter your password.
The caller ID says it's from the electric company.
Your account reflects a disconnection order taking place today due to non-payment history.
You could swear you paid your bill, but when you speak to a live representative, he demands that you pay up in the next 30 minutes.
You're telling me I have 30 minutes to come up with this $300, or you're going to turn it off, and then tomorrow I have to pay all of these connection fees.
These recordings are examples of a nationwide scam. The voicemail left with a customer in New Jersey who happened to be a utility worker. The phone conversation, recorded in California and provided to CNBC by an industry group, Utilities United Against Scams, which says the person on the line is not from the power company. He just wants your money.
Minimum payment of $300 to avoid the disconnection of service.
Think you could never fall for something like this? Try telling that to Doreen Elias of California, who works in accounting.
If it happened to me, somebody who should know better, it's going to happen to anybody.
She's out close to $500.
People work hard for that money.
She says the person on the line told her to go to a convenience store and buy a prepaid debit card.
He sounded like, I want to help you. I'll stay on the phone.
Convinced he was legit, she followed his instructions.
He told me to read off the card number to him, which I did.
Giving the crook all he needed to cash in. When she got home, something told her to call the number back.
And it was disconnected, and my heart just dropped at the time.
Still think you could never be fooled? The Federal Trade Commission says imposter scams like these were the top fraud last year, $1.2 billion.
Please contact us to avoid the disconnection.
It's easy for crooks to fake a utility company caller ID. They can get your account information from a bill you threw in the trash, or just trick you into thinking they have it.
These scammers can often be extremely sophisticated. They're basically using social engineering to kind of tap into our senses and sort of lure us into believing that they're real.
You're the only one, all right?
In that recorded conversation you heard earlier, the customer got the real utility on another line, and a representative coached her on what to do.
This is a fraudster, so yeah, it's a fraud call. Go ahead and try to get a phone number he could be reached at.
They apparently did not catch the scammer, and Doreen says she's still out her $500. Your best defense, if you get one of these calls, simply hang up. Better yet, don't pick up in the first place, even though it says it's from the electric company. Don't call the number on a voicemail. Only call your utility at the number that's listed on your bill. And speaking of your bill, if you still get a paper one, shred it before you throw it out. Your utility will never give you a single warning that they're about to cut you off in an hour, and they'll never ask for payment by prepaid debit card or by Bitcoin. Most important of all, don't ever think that you're too smart to be fooled, because that is how the scammers get you. For CNBC Business News, I'm Scott Cohn.
All right, well, after 4 rounds of wonderful golf, we've got a new champion at the RBC Heritage. Well, kind of. You may recognize his face from the last 2 times he put on the tartan jacket, but this may be his most impressive win at the Harbor Town yet. We will tell you why after the break.
Looking to buy a new Honda? See the full lineup at SavannahLowCountry.HondaDealers.com. Now, your Savannah and Low Country Honda dealers, WSAV Sports Desk.
That sound you hear behind me is a coronation for Stuart Sink, who has won the plaid jacket for the third time in his career. Now there's nothing left to do but go to our golf analyst, Krista Dutton, to break everything down.
They say tournaments can't be won on Thursday and Friday, and that they're won over the weekends, and Saturday's always moving day. But for him, I think he went out and won this tournament on a Thursday, Friday with 263s back to back. And then, not to say coast at home, but he had such a cushion that he could stick with the same strategy but not feel pressured. And, he was 1 under today, a few under yesterday, and just kind of maintained what he had. And I think he won it on Thursday, Friday, quite honestly, and then just secured it all the way through the weekend.
Well, not too many mistakes for Sink at all. Let's hear from the champ himself at the post-tournament podium.
Anytime you get a win on the PGA Tour, it's obviously, a real awesome experience. And so I've had a few, lulls, but when I'm playing well, I feel like I'm playing well enough to win at any time.
It seemed like after Friday, he was on course to shatter the tournament record, both overall and certainly the April tournament record. And then did he kind of take his foot off the gas Saturday, Sunday, or is his rounds, not as many birdies, just kind of the way it turned out?
I think they had a game plan that they wanted to go out and execute, he and his son, and I think he stuck to it. I think this golf course is tougher to score in the afternoons. In the morning, certainly when it's a little softer and the wind isn't up, you can bring in more birdies. The course conditions get a little tougher over the weekend. Certain pin placements might not be as close to get to. But I think when you listen to him talk, he'll say he's kind of stuck to his same game plan. I think he was expecting a little more of a fight.
Yeah, well, Sink obviously had a rougher go of it over the weekend than on the first 2 days. He talked a little bit about that after the tournament as well.
Well, it didn't turn into a close dogfight. I felt like me and the golf course were in a pretty big dogfight today, and I don't think I really won because I shot 100 par, but I was pleased with the way I was able to control my emotions and stick to the game plan, and really just it was a ball striking week for me that was going to be hard to beat.
Emiliano Grillo, he had 1 or 2 putts. I'm thinking specifically of a birdie putt on 9 that he missed by just a couple centimeters, where if he makes them, I don't know that he wins or whether he forces a playoff, but I think he at least makes things a little more interesting down the stretch. What did you see from him, not just today, but over the course of this tournament?
He played really well. It's tough going against someone, with Sink in the position he was in and the lead that he had, but I think Grillo played terrific golf, and he made an amazing, beautiful birdie on 7 with that front tight pin placement. Might have missed that one on 9, but who knows? Would that have changed some momentum? Sure. I think Sink was still pretty well dialed in and in sync, shall we say? But Grillo, I think, had a great tournament.
Couldn't do much more than I did. Stewart played unbelievable. Like I said before, he has got a 4-shot lead going to the last one. I don't think he's going to blow that up. So, kind of what I said yesterday, was going to be a little fight for second place.
Harold Varner, totally impressed with Harold Varner. It's his first shot out of bounds in the tournament today. And a lesson to be learned for all those amateurs out there. Instead of getting frustrated, he hung in there, made bogey, and then ended up, finishing in tie for second for the tournament, and just played some great golf this week as well.
All right, as we prepare to wrap up our RBC Heritage Classic coverage, is there anything you wanted to add, anything we didn't talk about yet that you wanted to talk about? I'm giving you the last word here.
Well, there's so many good players in this tournament, past winners. Brant Snedeker had a good tournament, Matt Kuchar, Webb Simpson. We got so caught up with the top of the leaderboard because of the lead that Sink put in and the attention that he deservedly, commanded. But it's a great testament to the sport of golf and someone at 47 that can win twice on tour like he has done, competing against, 23, 24-year-olds right there along with him. We'll certainly be ready to put on the plaid and get the crowds going next year for sure.
All right, well, I look forward to it as well. But in the meantime, Stewart Cink, your 2021 RBC Heritage Classic champion, 3rd time in his career, 19 under his final score. That's your look at
We are in store for a pretty nice evening, overnight around the Coastal Empire and the Low Country. Temperatures will be cooling off into the upper 50s to lower 60s for most locations. And then for tomorrow afternoon, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds early in the day, then mostly sunny in the afternoon hours. Upper 70s to lower 80s for those afternoon high temperatures. The 80s will stick around going into Tuesday and Wednesday as well, despite a few passing showers for us Tuesday afternoon and into the evening hours. Dry then again for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday ahead of our next storm system. That will bring us the chance for scattered showers and storms both Saturday and for Sunday. There's a decent chance that those chances for rain could be a little bit higher for next Sunday, but that's a week away. So we'll have more as we get a little bit closer.
Scott, you and I were talking about this earlier. Check this out. We want to let you know everybody's okay as you're looking at this video, but look at that plane. It was on Cocoa Beach at an air show today. One of the planes performing in the Warbird Parade at Patrick Air Force Base in Brevard County had a mechanical issue, forcing the pilot to bring the aircraft down right into the ocean along the shoreline there. Now, the pilot was able to land the plane and get out okay. Rescue personnel were able to get into that pilot. The pilot is doing just fine. We are told there were no other injuries in this. Our director, Bobby, was pointing out, see the person right there?
There he is, right
there. I
there.
mean, they could reach up and almost touch the bottom of the plane
and
as it was coming down.
Definitely a close call there, and hopefully that plane could be restored. Salt water can do some problems.
Corrosive a little bit. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next weekend.